Gregory Keene turns a further page of The Dossier on Dumetrius.
At this stage of the affair of Dumetrius, I knew we were heading in the right direction. We published a report that Peter Ridgway was dead when he was still alive in Guy's hospital, and Margaret Ridgway had escaped through that traffic accident when Dumetrius had arranged for her complete disappearance. But I didn't know that Dumetrius was seeing Haydée at the Rubinstein Galleries, or that he was making the last moves towards getting that £1 million worth of Nazi loot that he had come to England and already killed 4 men for. But when the word came from the hospital that Peter Ridgway was conscious, perking up and well enough to talk to us, I didn't waste any time getting there. Now look here, old chap. We're just about up to date with your activities up to the moment when you left Digby Mitchell and Bonnet in their car and went back to the house in Beadle Lane. What happened when you got there?
They were waiting. I found out about the place. If it wasn't for Margaret, I hadn't the foggiest idea.
You've seen your sister, have you? Good. Well, it doesn't matter how they found you. They did.
There were only the 2 of them, Yachty Blum and Dumetrius.
You actually saw them both?
I certainly did. Yachty took me from behind in one of those judo things you can't break. Held me gagged. Dumetrius gave me a little lecture, then thumped me one with a gun butt from behind. Next thing I knew, I was on the floor of a car. I played unconscious. When they dragged me out, I broke away and tried to run for it. Next thing, bingo, a knife fair in the middle of my back. I had just enough left to heave myself over the parapet into the river. I don't remember much more, actually.
Well, congratulations anyway.
Thanks.
Now, I'm taking a deep breath. Now let's have it. What does Dumetrius look like?
Right. He's about 40, I'd say. With that sort of distinction you see in German generals. He's slim, erect, straight hair and brushed rather sharply back.
Light or dark?
Sort of medium brown. Very well groomed. With a monocle, he'd be a perfect type. Eyes, grey, rather piercing. Good hands. Very well turned out. He'd pass anywhere.
And speech?
No, you've rather got me, Keene. Speaks well, a deep, resonant voice. Here's the thing, at times, only at times, mind you, there's a very faintest suggestion of an accent. German.
Look here, did he give you anything else?
Well, there were 2 others in the car, and when they stopped at the river, I heard him say something about one of the poles helped to drag him out.
Yes, that fits in. Don't happen to know what sort of a car, do you?
Yes, it was a 3.5-litre Jag drophead.
Of which there are 20 or 30,000 in London.
It's the same old thing, isn't it? Wouldn't you have thought the beggar would have dropped something vital? I tried to goad him into it. Even when he was knocking me off in 5 minutes, he wouldn't say anything.
He didn't mention Haydée Bergner, did he?
No, Keene, he didn't.
Oh. Well, so we go bald-headed after Yachty Blum, eh?
Time's up, Major.
Oh, right, we're coming now. Well, look after yourself, Ridgway. When you're out of the wood and out of this hospital, we'll have a couple of jobs for you.
Well, I think you'd better sit down, Rubinstein. That's right.
In my own office? You're too kind.
I can afford to be. Rubinstein, out there in your galleries, I practiced a small deception on you. This is not my sister. It's Miss Haydée Bergner.
I am enchanted.
You might not be very soon.
And you seem anxious to know who I am. Obviously not Pierre Delay, as it said on my card. Permit me, I am Dumetrius.
Dumetrius, I have heard of you.
Yes, there was a time when we moved in the same circles.
What do you want of me?
Your loot.
I have not the faintest idea what you are talking about.
Let me tell you then. Have any amount of time. As I said before, I know who you are. You're Reuben Janis.
Reuben Janis was killed in 1945 in Paris, 3 months before the end of the war.
Oh, I know all about that, too. Reuben Janis was a hero of the resistance, a fighter of the FFI. I even believe there was some sort of posthumous decoration bestowed on the fellow. That's why it would be so unpleasant for you if the French embassy here were to be told that Max Rubinstein, London's so distinguished expatriate art dealer, was an informer for the Nazis.
It's not true. My tracks are covered. You cannot prove it.
My dear fellow, I can prove it. There are documents. There are photographs. There are photostatic copies of German records. Don't force me to give you all the details. Just take my word for it.
What do you want?
I told you. Your loot.
There is no loot. If this is ordinary blackmail, say so.
It would save so much talk if it wouldn't be so tiresome. Only the Gestapo seemed to notice that the people you betrayed to them as sympathizers with the Allied cause were people of great wealth. It was so much better fun denouncing wealthy people, wasn't it, Rubinstein? And so easy for you to keep track of all the accumulated treasures the Gestapo took for themselves.
How did you discover all this?
Oh, I'm very well connected. Recently in Berlin, I traded information from a certain Levinsky, a Pole.
No.
I see that strikes a chord in your memory.
Levinsky was killed.
You're perfectly right. And since we're being frank with each other, I attended to it myself. Or rather, a friend of mine named Jotti Blom attended to it for me.
So, you want the booty it took me years to amass? Years in which I played one side against the other? Years in which I took every conceivable risk? You intend to take it or betray me?
You are scarcely in a position to complain.
Who knows of this but you?
Obviously, Rubinstein. I know of it.
Who else?
Well, certain friends of ours. I want you to understand that there is no escape for you. 3 others know of it. Jotti Blom, who looks after the unpleasant side of our business for us. Tony Mazzotti, who runs a nightclub in Soho. And Dr. Rudolf Buchmann, whom you will meet if you decide not to tell us where the loot is hidden.
After all these years, when I thought I was safe...
One is never safe, Rubinstein. Where is the loot?
It is not here in London. It is in Paris.
It is here in London. Must you insist on making difficulties for yourself?
How do you know? Well, how do I know you will not betray me if... No, I cannot do it. Do you think I was alone in this thing? I am only a guardian. There are others in Paris. They could kill me, and they would.
What's the time? Here, you must go back to your Madame Renard, the dressmaker. The fellow watching outside will be getting suspicious if you're in there too long.
Oh, but I'm enjoying Max's company, sir.
Oh, you will have other opportunities. Leave now. I'll follow you soon. I suggest you go back to your flat. You know what to do now to communicate with me.
Of course. Goodbye, Max. I have loved meeting you so much. How I look forward to it. Au revoir. Till tomorrow.
Now listen carefully, Rubinstein. I'll give you till this time tomorrow to think about what I have said. There's no escape for you. You will be watched if you leave this place, and I don't have to tell you how futile it would be to go to the police or anyone else. There's no way out for you, Rubinstein. So I suggest you make up your mind between now and this time tomorrow.
Hello? Yes, Rain, Keen here. Now listen, get a warrant out for Jotti Blum. Make it murder, the murder of Peter Ridgway. Yes. We've never wanted a chap before, we want Jotti Blum. And once we get him, we've as good as got Dumetrius, because we can offer him imprisonment instead of the scaffold if he'll talk. Yes, I know Ridgway didn't die, but Jotti doesn't. Now get every man onto it you can and round up every Pole in Soho. Right. We must get our hands on Jotti Blum. Well, hold the fort, Cuts. I'm going out. If you want me, I'll be at Hedy Berkner's.
Kim! Oh, darling, you've no idea how glad I am to see you. It's been 3 days. What have you been doing? You could have rung me up. Give me your coat. That's right. Well, do I get a kiss?
Come and sit down.
You want me to plead for a kiss?
You knew that Dumetrius kidnapped Margaret Ridgway, didn't you?
Of course, you told me yourself.
And you read in the papers about the crash in Whitechapel Road with Margaret in the taxi?
Yes.
Dumetrius was sending her to be murdered, to be dropped overboard from a ship. And being sure that she couldn't escape, he let a number of things slip out.
Yes.
He let slip the names of some of the people connected with him. Do you realize what that means?
Keen. Keen, what are you looking at me like that for? What is the meaning of this?
Hedy, I want you to take me to Dumetrius. Now. Never in my life have I watched anyone as closely as I watched Hedy then, trying to forget that I loved her, but waiting for her to crack. I can see her now. She never looked lovelier, staring me in the eyes while I waited and waited and waited.
Max Rubinstein, the traitor, makes a fight for his Nazi loot in the next suspenseful chapter of Dossier on Dumetrius.